All right. May we start the meeting with pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our president, Adam Fisher, was not able to be here tonight, so I'm going, if it's all right,
Yes.
just take charge and try to run the meeting. We do have a quorum, so we do not have an agenda, so we'll go by memory. Since there isn't an agenda, we'll move on down to past minutes. I think everybody has a copy of the minutes. Do we have any changes?
Well, we still tabled the minutes from the
We still haven't received any, so
yeah.
if not, could I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I will motion.
Tanya, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jim, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. Normally, we go and ask the audience if anyone has anything that they would like to state.
You want
You're
to?
more than welcome. If you would come up here and please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hello, members of the board. My name is Robert Faust. I come to you today because I have an immense passion for animal welfare and education. I've been speaking with Commissioner Mitchell's on the board. But a little bit back about myself. My wife and I recently got out of the military, moved back to northern Indiana. We're looking to get a property here in rural part of Tell City, which will be acquiring a USDA license to perform educational demonstrations with small, non-dangerous animals like short-tailed possums, armadillo, squirrels. We're going to be talking about their unique ecological roles, adaptations, and of course their conservation. We are focused on the youth. We believe that if we can get them interested and excited about animals, hopefully down the line they'll get more conservation mindset established.
Love it.
Well,
And your full name is Robert F. How do you spell the last name?
FOUST. Yeah.
Oh, Faust. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
well, we welcome you to Perry County.
Yeah,
We
look forward to
appreciate
it.
the
And her name?
information, and I guarantee you, we will be reaching out to you.
Oh, for sure. I'm very excited to serve this community and work with the board in any way possible.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done with it.
Yeah.
No. It's funny that you should be saying that you're looking for property. We've decided in the last 30 days, pretty much we're going to sell some acreage.
Oh, are you?
Yes. We have 30 acres. Half of it's wooded, half of it's open. And we've decided the 12 acres on the west side, which is about 1,400 feet deep, 330, but at the back it's a little wider. It has enteral water in the front. There's electricity that's available. We're getting ready to put it up actually on the market. We think we're still trying to decide, but do you know where Gatchel is? Do you have any idea where Gatchel is?
No, I'm not very familiar with
I think you have a property in
Yeah,
mind.
we're in
Oh.
the process of purchasing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good to know that.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about it now.
Well, and like I said, you're talking about different type of species. We have flying squirrels that most people don't
Yeah.
know.
We have a flying squirrel, northern flying squirrels in Charlotte.
We had as many as a dozen at one time. They
Oh,
were
really?
feeding every night. But this year, we also have cats. And so when you have cats,
Yeah.
flying squirrels, you know how that works.
Yeah, we have some exotics, but we also have some that are natural to the state. So that way, we're getting familiar with some animals that we have around here. Not a lot of people, would even think that flying squirrels are around here. I definitely didn't know they were.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we had them until the cat decided that we didn't need them.
Yeah.
And do you have a phone number that you can be reached?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out here. 702
Okay.
606 1343.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get the, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, you guys just worked in at the best time.
Exactly. We appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
Yeah. We've actually, that's something that's on our list to do, is try to be getting in the schools and do some education. So it'll be great to be able to team up with you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And what do you call what is this, your occupation? What do you call that? What's,
We haven't really come up with a good name for it. They
Right.
call it an exhibitor.
exhibitor? Okay.
Okay.
But my background is in wildlife conservation. I have a bachelor's in wildlife conservation and currently working on my master's in animal science and behavior. The master's is focused in cats and dogs, and a big part of it is kennel management. I know you guys said that you're open to
The shelter?
shelter.
We
Mhm.
have.
They're about a year ago, they opened it.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe a
almost 2
little-
years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And don't run away, you two.
yeah.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
We are trying to get organized to the point where
Yeah.
we can get somewhere.
Yeah,
So-
I know that, or at least I heard that the county was trying to get the city laws to reflect the county laws as far as.
Yes.
That's
That's on the agenda tonight.
Yeah.
on the agenda. We'll be discussing that. There's been some hiccups on that, but
Yeah,
we're trying to work through it. In the state of Indiana, a city officer can enforce a county ordinance, okay? So what we're trying to do is get the three communities, Troy, Tell City, and Candleton, to adopt a ordinance that is similar in the wording on the law enforcement part. There's a lot in this ordinance that really doesn't pertain to them about our board and things like that. That's a county board. But as far as the law enforcement, now a county officer can enforce the county ordinance anywhere in the county. So, but we would like for everybody to be on the same page. The reason why is we would like to funnel all the fees through the county, where we can have a special fund set up to someday get an animal control officer.
okay,
We've had one. Matter of fact, I was the very first one many years ago. And I think we had one for about 3 or 4 years, and then it faded away. And
And that was very sporadic, off and on.
yes, and so there's a need, but we've been working towards that. The biggest advantage we have now is we have a shelter. We didn't have one for 2 years. So, but as I always state, it doesn't matter how big your shelter is, you're going to fill
they
it up.
fill up.
It's just like our jails. No matter how big you build them, you'll fill it,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So we need to come up with some alternative ideas, what to do here.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your input.
And what I've been working on for the last year is I've been trying to work to get some of our state law, antiquated state animal laws revised, because they need to be revised. And I'll just use the example as one. In the state of Indiana, different states have different laws when it comes to the ability to give rabies shots. In the state of Indiana, the only way you can give a rabies shot is in the presence or in the same building with an active veterinarian. The problem with that is that all over the United States, and also right here specifically, we don't have enough vets.
Yeah,
So and 2 of our 3 vets that are in the local right here won't even take new customers. So now if a person, like if you moved in and you had a cat, you can't even get your rabies shot because the vets here won't take new customers. So what I'm trying to do is work on different state laws, and one of them is to change the law that a vet tech will have the ability to do the minor things like rabies shots.
that makes sense, yeah.
And so I'm working on that at the state level. And so I'm beating my head mostly against the wall, but I don't give up, so.
No, he's been at it for a lot of years.
I believe that state law to also, all animals need to have a rabies shot.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, it's a state law.
With the
In Indiana, it's dogs, cats, and ferrets.
dogs, cats, and ferrets.
That's the 3 that are required. Plus, there may be there's things going on now, but with the bird flu,
Yes, yeah.
that's
Yes, I understand.
really getting up. I connect with we have what BOA in the state of Indiana. It's called the Board of Animal Health for the state of Indiana. Our representative, I've been trying to talk to him for the last 2 months. He's been out in the field so much because they're worried about this bird flu migrating to other species and obviously the genetically modifying the,
Oh, wow.
Right now, it's just bird to human, and if it gets to human, it could be
yes.
quite a problem.
And there's been a few other animals, but I think that's going to be a major thing because they're scared to death that it's get into the cattle.
Yep, livestock.
So,
Anything else?
I'm sorry.
You're fine, you're fine. But again, thank you, and we will be in touch. And in a little while, we're going to be talking about the ordinance and how it's going to open up the board to more members. Okay?
And these meetings are monthly, so we'd like to, if you guys want to come every month, that'd be great.
And we have it usually on the fourth Tuesday of the month.
The fourth Tuesday. We did try to come last Tuesday, but it didn't seem like there was one that happened last Tuesday.
It's always the fourth Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
Okay? All right, thank
So,
you.
and what did you, I'm sorry, your address?
My address, so do you have the?
I have the address of the new property or where we're at currently.
Where you're at currently, so,
I can give you that
sure.
after or.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you.
because I'm not going to let you guys and girls.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over on animal bites. I sent out,
Yeah,
did you receive your copies of the animal bites? Again, we're same, a lot of them, same situation, animal pets or somebody trying to break up a dog fight
yeah.
gets bit. So, and then the CADs, Tanya, you sent out.
It all was normal stuff. I didn't see as much, like people calling in about the cold spell like I thought would have been on there. I mean, there was a few, dogs out on chains with not enough shelter and that, but it wasn't like I thought it would be.
Well, it brings up a point that I'd like to address. Social media,
Yeah,
some things that were posted recently that sort of bothered me. And the thing that bothered me the most was singling out someone's name. I don't believe in that. He is the sheriff. Everybody knows he's the sheriff, but this problem has been around longer than he's been around,
Mhm.
as long as all the other sheriffs, all the politicians. I don't think that we should single out people for these things. The problem is the system.
Well, sometimes they'll try to draw it to their attention because it's been called on to dispatch numerous times and nothing gets done. So sometimes the social media goes to that to get them to look at that and maybe see, look, there is a serious.
Discuss that here very shortly when we the ordinance.
Good.
So, but in my personal, it's fine to name a department, or really I wouldn't. As I said, this is a problem because the system's broke.
Oh, very, yeah,
But if you go to any county in the state,
everybody's.
they're all having the same problem, and no one has came up with an answer. And I don't know if there ever will be an answer, because when we talk about having an animal control officer, as I said, I did that, and
But it seems like no one wants to, they act like there is no funding at all. I mean, you didn't ask for a gargantuan amount of money.
no.
You asked for enough just to maybe throw it at it, try to get it started.
All right, well,
We
and
gotta
we're
take care of
gonna do that,
ourselves.
we're gonna do that again, and we're gonna sit down and come up with a plan, trying to, start out, like I said, with a part-time animal control
Yeah.
officer as possible. But I guarantee you, I've been on the other side of the bench as a county councilman, and I know how tight the money is.
Right.
And there are mandated things by law that we have to, like the hospital, the ambulance service, people that are incarcerated, juveniles. mental health, all these,
Right.
and that takes a big chunk out.
Oh, yeah, I'm
And-
sure.
You know, I wish that we could come up with a solution that everybody could live with, but I don't see it happening right now. If, you know, even when we have an animal control officer, is that gonna make it perfect? No,
No,
by no means. Because I
They're
had this
gonna be busy.
discussion the other day. Technically, there's three options when you make a call. You can write a ticket,
Mhm.
okay, which we know most of the time that doesn't work because we have people that won't pay it.
Mhm.
Second option is call the shelter. And as I said earlier, no matter how big that shelter is, it's never gonna be big enough.
right,
And the third one, I hate even saying it because it would cause such a uproar, but put the animal down.
Mhm.
And that would cause probably more chaos than anything.
Well, yeah,
We really don't want to go there.
but at the same time, with that punishment, I mean, as sad as it would be, because I'm all about saving an animal's life. Would the next person say, my God, we don't want that to happen because look, they put all their animals down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not, and I hate it, but we're gonna have to make examples for people to start following some rules.
And those are going to be tough decisions to make.
Yeah, and
And a lot of times that's going to have to fall into law enforcement, and we'll get into that in a minute. So, do we have any other comments about the CADs or anything?
no, I'm good.
Okay. Let's go on to the education program. We're still spinning our wheels with the schools right now, you know, with all this weather and things.
Yeah.
They've been out of school, now they're behind. So I don't know what that's going to turn out to be, but we'll continue to do so. Let's talk about the ordinance. After we had our last meeting last month, I went to the commissioners and I asked them to go ahead and approve it. And they were still a little lackadaisical that they didn't really want to approve it till everybody was on board. But there was another point that was brought up that probably we had put on the back burner and hadn't even thought about it, is the law enforcement part of it. I have sent the chief of Tell City, Alan Lee at Camilton, a copy of this ordinance, and I want to sit down with them to go over the law enforcement side of it in the laws.
Mhm.
Okay, they're not concerned about the writing of the ordinance. You know, there's a lot of terminology in the ordinance that doesn't pertain to them
I
individually.
was confused, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I remember the last meeting or so, you said that you were wanting to sit down and talk to them about the enforcement of it. Okay, would that mean the enforcement of, like, will that put everyone on the same page as far as?
Hopefully, if they all come to agreement with it, then I can go back to. we can
It'd be
go-
like using that book as rules, more or
Right,
less.
and
Okay.
basically, technically, if you read these are all state statutes.
Right,
Okay,
right.
anyway, okay. And, we looked at the animal ordinances from Tell City, Troy, and that, it was
Mhm.
one page.
Yeah, it wasn't
Really-
much to it.
Really vague. So this way, if they adopt the enforcement part, then, if they're in agreement with that, then we can go to the boards and say, law enforcement is in favor of this.
Yeah,
Can we put it in motion?
okay,
Okay.
yeah, that,
And also in that, as I was saying, the board is going from a 5-member board to a 7-member board.
yeah,
And it'll be made up of a representative from Tell City, which I serve in that capacity now. Jim does Cannleton. Tanya, you're a
Commissioner.
commissioner's appointment. When it was first designed, there were 5 members.
yeah, and it had to be like a
Yeah,
spring.
they were involved in, the original ordinance several members had to be involved in some sort of animal group. But then, so that was taken out. So,
It limited who could,
right,
it was hard.
who could put their name in for it. This is the way the commissioners will have 2 appointments of county residents. The council will have 2, and then Tell City, Troy, and Troy is not having a member on the board. They requested a member, and then Candleton, that would make up the 7. We had talked about 6, and it's really hard to get things done on a board with an even number.
Yeah.
So that's why we went to the 7.
And part of that change is that you're not required to be, for instance, I'm the Candleton representative, but I don't live in Candleton.
Right.
So your only requirement is that you're a Perry County resident.
Yeah.
So we're looking to see where you fall in this.
What is the process to apply?
Once the ordinance goes into effect, well, matter of fact, there is an opening because
Becky.
Becky
Yeah.
Thorne, who is a commissioner, has resigned her post, her position, and she's appointed by the council. The council meets on Thursday night, and I'm there for other reasons. I
It's just a
will,
letter, isn't it, though? Don't they just have
Yeah,
to write a letter
send a
of
letter.
interest?
of interest,
So you wouldn't even have to go to the meeting. You
Well,
could-
but
It'd be
we're gonna
nice.
you do not presently own property yet, do you, in the county?
So we're closed, we just can't move it.
Okay, so it's in your name. So technically you are a resident of Perry County, so you do qualify. That you would just write a letter to the Perry County Council stating your interest on serving on this board.
And you write probably to just the auditor or to the clerk.
Well, it should go to the auditor.
Auditor, well, it's also clerk has that responsibility too. You got the end of the last of it.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, that would be my recommendation, because I have no idea. They may announce it Thursday night that there is an opening and open it up for anyone that's interested.
Would that be something that can hand in, or does it need to be?
You can bring it down, the auditor's office is straight down that hallway. You run right into it.
Okay.
Yep.
And if you have any questions, the next office to the right is my office, and you can stop in and see me.
So,
All right?
Charlie's just full of information.
No, I can direct you. That's about the only information
I
I
also want
have.
to
So,
warn you, Charlie inherited a job. He's now the clerk of the Perry County, which I don't know if he wanted or not, but he ended up with it because we lost our clerk, so he's wearing more than one hat.
yes.
and with more people being added to the board, I saw that there was I don't remember how long, but there's only a certain amount of time a board member can serve. Is that still in place?
You can only serve, I think it's 8 years.
Oh, wow, that's quite a long time.
Yeah.
And the terms are 4 years.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
And with your interest, we need varied
Yes.
backgrounds. That's
Exactly.
one of the, I ain't gonna say it's a problem, but we all had good.
Being animal lovers is
Yeah.
one thing. You guys actually are educated, in that field. I think it'd be great.
And with the new ordinances coming out, was the law rewritten entirely, or was it just?
No.
no, as I had said earlier, each community had their own ordinance. And I'm a retired police officer from Tell City, and the city ordinance on animals were like 2 pages. Troy, the small community outside of Tell City, had a 1-page, and I think Camilton was only 1 or 2 pages, and very vague. But it was written so many years ago
Yeah.
that it hadn't been updated.
Yes.
And the county, I think the ordinance was written 20-some years ago by the county,
Yeah.
so it was time.
And then it was kind of just like written, and then it kind of took, like it wasn't, this board started, and then it kind of just went to the wayside.
Well, there was a section completely taken out because the county council back then didn't enact a fine.
County option dog.
The county dog tax. And the state of Indiana said if you didn't adopt that, then you couldn't have an ordinance for licensing
Yeah.
dogs.
Charging kind
So,
of fees.
That's that was one of the things Jim has been working on, trying to get the state, because there's very few counties that adopted it and doing it. And technically, we don't know, but they may not be doing it correctly. So he's made a push to try to get the state to do away with that, and give it back to the counties for them to do their own.
One of the laws that I saw on the ordinances, to own exotic animals in Perry County, you need court approval. Is that still happening?
That, it's a review.
It's a review.
Yeah, if you have exotic animals, you normally go, the commissioners would then point the county, the board to look at that, but they would probably also discuss that with veterinarians. But yes, there is an exotic, at the end of that, there is an exotic, hold on, my brain is.
And that really came about, I think, many years ago. We had a family that had some tigers and lions.
Yeah.
No.
It was
So,
like,
it probably caused a lot of issues.
My biggest curiosity with that is how would that be enforced?
That's a good question. There's a lot of this is still gray.
yeah,
As someone who owns exotic animals, so the state does pretty well at, as far as encompassing certain animals, like dangerous animals specifically. There still are some that aren't listed at the state level that you could get without a permit. Kinkajou is a South American animal. It's similar to a raccoon, which can be quite a dangerous animal, that someone could get without a permit. That's something that the board would obviously, you need approval from, but that might be hard to enforce.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe if something was written that you needed USDA to own any any exotic animal that's not non-dangerous, like say you had a hedgehog, that'd be a non-dangerous animal.
Right.
That sort.
Right.
But something for like the kinkajou, like I was saying, a USDA license, if you can say that you have to have a USDA license for this animal, that way you know that they are getting looked at by a veterinarian. One of the qualifications for a USDA license is a veterinarian has to establish a program of care.
Yes, in fact, what you just said is also, veterinarians are not even allowed to inoculate certain animals, but there's arguments that that's a gray area too. A lot of times if you got a coyote, okay, which is here in the state of Indiana, but it's considered a wild animal.
Yeah.
If you caught a pup and started raising it and wanted to give it a rabies shots, which makes sense, right? The vets normally call it, okay, that's a dog. They put down different what it is, so they're not really facing the problem. They're ignoring the problem, just like you said.
Yeah. With a coyote, you would need a state permit for that, and with the permits, they do require that you see a veterinarian, and you would need.
If you've got that permit.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
But according to the law.
There's many people in this county that.
but there's what we're talking, like, how would you enforce that if I had a coyote pup?
So wouldn't that be on the state level?
Yeah, I would think so. Again, we know that there'll be changes in this ordinance as we go on. When we encounter
Yeah,
these incidents, we're going to have to come to grip with them and say, hey, how are we going to handle this situation? We need something. It can be amended. Because there was one thing that was left out of the ordinance was the tethering law. And we have a copy of Marion County's, and theirs is really strict. And
Very
that's
detailed.
something that we decided we wanted to get this ordinance passed, and then in the future, do amendments when we have those situations occur.
And the tethering law for the state of Indiana, under 32. I'm starting to die. My brain's starting to die. I would be able to tell you this. There is a tethering law, but it's not, the animal can't be any shorter than so many feet.
yeah, like 4 times the length of the animal
Whatever
or
the length
something,
of
you
the
know?
animal is, yeah. So,
So, and those are things that we'll be looking, at in the future. But what we want to do is get everybody on the same page. That's our.
It's a very slow work in progress.
And it has been. We've been working on this. I've been on the board for a little over, close to 2 years now. We've been working on this ever since.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things that I call it like ping pong. It goes back and forth, back and forth.
Then we think next time you come to the meeting, oh, this is gonna be set in stone. It's like, oh.
We got another hurdle.
Yeah.
I guess just to close on my point with the board approval, if you did refer to it, just to refer to the USDA licensing, it'd be a little bit easier because, the board, they might not have the resources to
Right.
inspect the
Right.
property or make sure they're getting
Right.
veterinary care like a USDA license. If you just said that, hey, you need a USDA license to own these animals here, then you know that those requirements are being met. If they don't have the license, then they're not.
That's not a bad
in
idea.
The ordinance, it'd be a little
Sure.
bit easier in that way.
Yeah. And there's got to be some way, I don't think it would violate anybody's right of privacy, but the community should know if there's certain type of animals in the area.
I
Yeah.
believe that a USDA license is public information.
Yeah. So that'd be
Yeah.
very important. So, all right.
It's good to know.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Jim, anything to add?
I'm just gonna tell him under the section, very section 1, under definitions, part of that comes under paragraph 23, which is on page 3, the original, okay? I don't know what's gonna be on the new, don't have the new with me, but it talks about, it means any animal not defined as a domestic animal, and then it refers to the state. So this is how you actually work with the state. You can do a lot of this by just using, the terms here, so.
Yeah.
So what animals did you say you've got
So we have a purple squirrel, a northern flying squirrel, short-tailed possums, and a southern freeman. Willing to expand a little bit.
Wow.
out here.
I gotta talk to you guys
Yeah.
after we adjourn, because
Yeah,
I got a
because
question for you.
you did say an armadillo.
That's what I
An
thought.
armadillo, yeah, so these guys are native to South America.
What about the weather here?
They're here.
Do you see a problem with that?
So there-
Are you talking about them expanding their range?
No, just
It's
will
right.
they adapt?
Yeah.
Because many years ago, there was a family that moved here from out west and brought in a lot of exotic, horses.
Yes.
And they didn't make it through the winter because of the weather. And that was what I was asking.
So
Really?
all my animals are kept inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indoors. But to say like something happened where he got outside, he would not last through the winter.
Really?
These guys being from South America, those are very-
Now, there's armadillos already too.
I was gonna say, I thought I've seen like,
There
there's been
are,
2 here.
A species of armadillo native to here. These are 9-banded armadillos. They're a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are expanding their range.
Yeah.
They are starting to come into Indiana as the temperatures warm up.
Yeah.
We always put it there hitchhiking on trucks.
yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, they get on a delivery truck and end up in Indiana.
Have you did,
DNR actually lists them as being a native species to Indiana.
Really?
You probably won't see them, but they are technically around.
Well,
have you did UV scans on your animals yet?
What was that? Sorry.
UV, have you UV scanned your animals?
UV scan?
Yes, I'm sure you're aware of this. Flying squirrels actually fluoresce on a.
Oh, yes.
But what
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out is,
Hello. No.
I'm wanting to know about that, because I don't have any research on any of the South American, but the reason why I believe they do is because I think they actually see in ultraviolet, and that's how they actually see in ultraviolet, that's why they fluorescent.
That could be true, that being.
But I don't have any information on that, that's what I was.
I have seen what you're talking about. Yeah, they glow pink under black.
Yeah.
They just-
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I hate to interrupt, but we
Okay.
can continue this
Okay.
after
Yeah,
the
I'm
meeting
sorry.
if that's all right. Is there any other business to discuss
Do we know any more about the school? Like,
other than, as I had mentioned earlier, because of the weather, everything is sort of stretched out that
we're just gonna
we're going to play it by
cut the brakes a
ear.
little bit?
We're going
Okay.
to play it by ear and hopefully we can do something in the spring
Yep.
that the depending if they get back on track, because they lost so many days of school, and they've got so many days that they have to have those hours. So we'll reach out to them and see if it's available.
Well, have you spoke to Molly or anyone about,
No, I was up there a couple of weeks ago. I do know that they were supposed to get some bids on there in the kennels,
Ventilation
repainting that,
thing?
and then the ventilation, but I haven't heard anything since then. So, and I've been to the commissioners meeting and haven't heard anything mentioned there, so.
about all I,
Well, the next meeting is scheduled for March the 25th. That will be here at 6 o'clock. If no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And we're going to end this meeting at 6:35 PM. Thank you for being here.
All right, let's go.
So what is the goal of the current education